3, 2, 1.
Motomonte, Aragorachile, Aremo Botaba, Jokapa, Aremo Kabeha, Aremo Alibalela, the Nelson Mandela Pay, Mo Motameko, Wabudi Chabachaba, Wabutalano, Africa Borua, Catalina, Zambia, Hazela Catalan Tarina, Teperi Tulana, Mewaito Rekale, Fari Tulana, Hotola di Tase, Momentameko, Yaditropa, Teperite, Jacob Arabatameke, Batana, Kalibala. Jacob Arabatameke, Batana Jalo, Molebalenga, Hota, Ripa, Kanyeta, Tabano, Yantua, Yametele, Somaro Bongwem, Baoke, Balatedi, Bakiladina, Baba Horokilen, Kakuano, Mobotaba, Jokapa, Libala, Satala Jalo, Me. Telefelo, Kiore, Tarabatamako, Telepele, Rasimula, Bonabatu, Batala, Molebalenga, Monakwenye Fetilenga, Africa, Borani, Lefale, Balan, Tea. Ritlori Paka Nyeta Jalo, Dipina, Tabu Sichaba, Sadina Tepelite, Africa Borua, Lenaka, Ya Zambia.
Land of West and in unity, victors in the struggle for our rights. We want freedom's fight for one, strong and free. Africa is our own motherland, fashioned with and blessed by those who blend. Let us all have people join us one, brothers under the sun, oh one, strong and free. One land and one nation is our cry. Dignity and peace is our sky. Like a noble eagle in its flight, Zambia, praise to thee, oh one, strong and free. Praise be to God, praise be, bless our great Zambia, Zambia. Remain we stand under the flag of our land, Zambia.
Ladies and gentlemen, now stand for the national anthem of South Africa.
Obedi Jodi Pinate Dithamilwe Jalo Kimona wa Inox Sontonga pina ya bosetšhaba ya setlhopha sa naga ya Zambia ga mmogo le Aforika Borwa go se sekelele Africa ga mmogo le stand and sing of Zambia proud and free ke pina e le utlwa jaaka o bona baeng ba tlotlego ba dumedisa jalo batshameki ba ditlhopha tse pedi tse Aforika Borwa ba ipaakanyetsa go leba kwa metshamekong ya go ipaakanyetsa jalo go leba jalo kwa metshamekong ya CAF ya kontinente ya AFCON ga mmogo le metshameko ya sejana sa lefatshe ka re mo dibekeng di le mmalwa ba tla bo ba thankgolola kgaisano eo ka kua nageng ya Morocco. Dumedisi wa la bofelo batshameki pele ga toa ye ba tlileng go samagana le yone kgatlhanong jalo le Chipolopolo kgatlhanong jalo le naga ye ya Zambia se gore tirisano mmogo ya dinaga tse pedi tse ga ise fela mo metshamekong ga mmogo jalo le mo mererong ya dipolotiki tla gopola gore Dr. KK Kaunda o na tswa gone kwa nageng eo mme ebile go na le masepala yo o teletsweng fa moraga gagwe mo Aforika Borwa seo se go bontsha fela gore tirisano mmogo ya dinaga tse pedi tse ke ya mohuta mang ga ise di sela mapa fela lebeletse jalo le na le la setlhopha sa Aforika Borwa Ronald Williams a ba etela pele jaaka gale Lal Foster solofetse dino mo gene mo tsatsing la gompieno matseraganye ba dira jalo tikoloso ya ledi matseraganye ba letsatsi la gompieno dira jalo tikoloso ya ledi le ba kapteni ba ditlhopha tse pedi tse le Bamba Musonda ga mmogo jalo le Ronald Williams.
Well, thank you very much, OJ. And for the Zambians, they will be looking for a good showing here. Have stepped up saying they look to take this game to the South Africans. So for them, defensively, Nzabata will be crucial, and he should be well protected if they are to have any joy here. Watch out defensively for Gabaso as well as Sagada. Whilst out in the attacking areas, of course, Patentaka is one with plenty of pedigree and experience coming into the Zambian side. They do have Siame as well as Galusa in support. Whilst for Fashion Sagada, we'll be hoping for a fashionable performance here in the side against Hugo Bruce for the Zambians, in the hope, of course, of Zambia continuing in what should be an impressive road to the Africa Cup of Nations. Well, new coach in the way of the Zambian national team, of course, in Kosi Shone, man who, of course, took over from Evan Grant to make way following the lack of qualification for the FIFA World Cup. So, Kosi Shone says this game, as good as a cup final for the Zambians, in wanting to get that positive result against their age-old rivals here in South Africa. We're looking forward to an interesting, if not entertaining, 90 minutes of football at the very least. OJ, to get things started.
Fela jaaka mokatetsi wa Aforika Borwa Hugo Bruce le na tlhalosetse gore motshameko ga tle go tsa jaaka motshameko wa botsalano jaaka utlwa phala e ka jalo tshimologo ya motshameko bafana kgatlhanong jalo le Chipolopolo sale ba simolotse go thulana ngwaga wa ketengwe kgolaro bongwe fa Aforika Borwa ngwageng tsa bosomaro bongwe fa Aforika Borwa e ne amogelwa semmuso mo metshamekong ya boditšhabatšhaba ka ngwaga wa 1992 ba ba itumela seo balatedi ba batlileng ka kwano go se nathe sebese tshamekela jalo mo tseleng ya ga Mpeketse le Mpokazi lebeletse maemo a tlhaga o kgona go lemoga gore lebala ga le lentle jalo mmala wa lone solofetse go bona lebala le le tala fela wa itse gore lebala le le tswa jalo le metshameko ya rugby ke legae la Chippa United maybe le gape ke legae la setlhopha sa the Southern Kings e le setlhopha sa motshameko wa rugby a re bone jalo Sailorman Khuliso Morao mongwe ba tshameka morago ba ba diphatsa e seng fela mo Aforika Borwa mme mo kontinenteng ngwe ya di right back tse di kotsi tse di tshamekang kgwele ya dinao e tswileng diatla le ka bona le la Khuliso Morao na kopetsana jalo Arabone Kuleo Rumela Kakwana Toko, Kulisha Rumela Legend. Sipambule kwa Timo Garikota, the master chef. Abaye kwa Timo Garikota, Africa Bora, Taselo, Fela Mutimo Motameko, Poraga Motameke Tilenga, master chef, Monarwita, Webamule Tuenga. Fela Basaine Pa Kuleo. Abarulela Sipambule. Arbone, Senegal Bagosola, Tini, Nagaya Zambia. Sekut. Monteraga Yabaka Chalore, Aine Sekut of Video. Yahoto Swa, Kakwano Pirima Jolebala. La Nelson Mandela Bay. Junior Sakala qui est en sans Julio. Junior Sakala. Saka Kamalele, se fanise au Kassa Saka Kamalele. Relais à nos côtés, fait la tu l'as comme Rako. Taropola Monayo, Katisten Tata, quoi, Profensenya, Limpopo, Jacob Sakala. Rumela Prile Telele. Fela Berota Jalo Motile Jaron Williams. Singwe se Moteraganya Sikaileng. Agete Banwa Kailo Africa Boraleka Famutsing, Kajalo Kila Rotoso Komara Kenakaya Zambia. Denson Sakala Kena Tomilio Kilio. Tota Tomila Chala Kimiguel Chaiwa. Wait some like a corner Toko. Baiba Motileng Yakachisala. Wadibella Chisala on Alijalo. Nikawana Lausina Police, Baba Kailo Institute Kelona, Zambia. Jobe, Eva Motileng Auswin. Consider this CBC with Samigala Chala Motileng Yampeg and Selim Bogas. Resolvete Roca Rocana Diptator, Mol, Strapen Sarah, Hugo Bruce, Fella, Okana Lemo, Jaka, Talusita Motameko, Hauze Jaka Motameko, Motalano, Kistamatami Baha, Bote, Amotaka and Kahaliba Simula, Nani Lastropasa, Bafana. Begazeli. Banababiri, Babatonka Professor Zulu Natal, consider this CBC Ramaholim Begazelim Bogazi. Kuliso Modao, Mrembula, Tebo Homoquena. Baleka, we try to play Baleka Roca. He tried to play Capas Africa Bora. Jacob on us Pepelo. Samigala Jala Mose Lamain. Harbon Africa Bora, Osina Polis. Fella Bokara Waka, Comorado Chaiwa. Wait, Samigala Mo Junior. Walbella Junior Sakala. Mamotela Pele, Harasigalo took a pay, Montagana, Montego Pepos and the Pill. Haragolemo Hamokasamiko Kapaz, Peditero Kibasamiki, Baratango Tara Pele, Honele Sana Pele. Holiday Samiko Vitala Jara Momitang Mecano, Yamotamiko. Arbon Africa Burama Matana Kutsi Fella, Monautinga Montana Beri Montagana Kaufi, Wawabita, Wawunta Karata, Montagani, Karate Surlana Chile, Ligawana La Chungo Capaso, Chungo Capaso, Kenam Kalan Karata, Fella Cavadas Hametsoyo, Ele Some, Momotumo Rataro, Bona. Atabarega Koa career ending tackle. King Waya Caselo said he got fit Sambukamoso Motamiki. Sipambule. Fela Olibera Taimela Jacale Sole, the master chef. Hovanala Taimela Jacale Sole, the master chef. ba go dira le bota kwa morago naga ya Zambia. Naga ikile nyantsha dinaledi fa o bua kana ledi ya ka kwa naga ya Zambia ke mangotla le balanjalo Khalusha Biala monna yo ni le motshameki ya nna mo kapoteni ya nna mo katisi ya ba ya nna mo presidente wa federation ya kgwele dinaga kwa Zambia monna wa Khalusha Biala yo ni le lesego mo tshogakano nya sefofane se sa la tola matshelo a batshameki ba naga ya Zambia le go tlala ga jana ga se ba le baleng tlhayo ka kwa Zambia kgwele tlhomelo jalo ke le ka bona la ka kwa botlhaba jo bo tseneletseng jwa Bethlehem Tebza Mrembula e tlhomelo jalo ke Teboho Mokoena Kgwileo ba dirile le bota Zambia Afrika Borwa ba rometse jalo tlhaselo a batla kgona go thuba le bota leo Afrika Borwa Teboho Mokoena ga etsa fa le gone ka tlhamalalo fa ratile fela Nzabatha wa moitsa ba kitla a iaterela kwa morago testa a ba iaterela testa Nzabatha ngwaga di le 35 motshwaradino wa setlhopha sa Sekhukhune fela o kgona go lemoga kgwele gore ga ise regiwang ke Teboho Mokoena ne se na matla a makalo kgweleo ya go tloswa kwa morago kgweleo Junior Sakala kopeditse jalo Seila Khuliso Modau lebeletse kwa pankeng ya Afrika Borwa tsholofela ke gore tabara bana ba le bantsi ba tsena mo motshamekong hela jaaka le tlhakoreng la Zambia a re bone Samukelo Kabini fela kgwele betsolega kwa ntle ya go akgiwa jalo ke setlhopha sa e ntshitswe jalo ke monna yo wa Samukelo Kabini tshamekiwa mola wa setlhopha sa TS Galaxy kgwele ya go tloswa ya akgiwa jalo ke Gift Mpande go dira tiro kwa setlhopheng sa Zesco United monna yo wa Mpande kgwele ya go tloswa ya akgiwa ke Begezele we tshamekela ba Ronald Williams ba go isemolla kwa morago Afrika Borwa Teboho Mokoena wa lebela Mrembula tshamekela jalo mo tseleng ya the tough guy Begezele Mbogazi Teboho Mokoena Seila Mrembula aba romela kgwele kwa pele bona Afrika Borwa mo matla nang kwatsi Tshepa Moremi bona Tshepang fela ba motima se a lolo Tshepang setsana le dilo di le robedi go fitlhela ga jana Tshepa Moremi go setlhopheng sa Orlando Pirates mme mo katese o tlhalosetse Hugo Bruce gore o batla go mo fa tšhono gore a tla bontshe sa dirilweng ka tsone le ka bonane la Tshepa Moremi ka bona la ka kwa Val tshamekwa malo wa setlhopha sa Mazulu mothoetso re tsamaile sebaka sa metsotso le lesome go fitlhela ga jana mme ga ise go nne sepe se sekalo ga ise re bone nno mo motshamekong e ntse le noto bafana e le noto chipolopolo.
Well, it very much is a battle between Southern African nations with an eye on the upcoming Africa Cup of Nations. Crossing swords at the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium. This international friendly serves up what, well, should be quality. And amongst the best in quality in Southern Africa, in the away of South Africa and Zambia, have crossed swords on a good number of occasions. In the away of the COSAFA Cup, Zambia, of course, has enjoyed the last few years in the encounters, or the last few encounters, maybe I should say, against the South Africans. South Africa looking to get back to winning ways for the first time since 2018 against the Zambians. On this near side, of course, is Sagara is done well to keep it moving at 1 point, surrounded by 3. Takes the fourth out the equation. Looks to do him again, and in the end, a good challenge as the Zambians press on here. Chisala, byline, good ball into that near post. Nobody really attacking the near post of the 4 players that were in there from a Zambian point of view. Now, good ball out from the South Africans. Muremi with a movement to his left and right. Faster, strong. And keeping and moving a space for Apollos. Well, they quickly sent it upon him. Looked as though he had lost it for just a moment, but here is Moremi. At the best moment so far of this match, Moremi with his movement off the ball, which is usually of a very high standard and outstanding. So how easily someone with the talent in the eye of Mogoena can pick out those runs. Bule taking a little too long then before deciding what to do with it. Fashion Sagala, Junior. Sagala again here, looking for the return, looking to combine with Patson Daga, and strength was a need in the battle between the two men of the ball, then Daga as well as Mogazi. To end at the end, the decision going the way of the South Africans. Tell you what, the Zambians will be up for this particular battle and keeping the rivalry alive between the two sides. So that battle between the two men in question, there's Mogazi operating alongside his club teammate in Asibisi. Both of them have shared the captain's armband in recent times out at Orlando Pirates. Asibisi's season, of course, starting off with an injury layoff. Seen him in recent weeks, so over the last couple of months, coming back into the action here. He'll be happy for a start under Hugo Bruce. Without the challenge. Very quick to get numbers behind the ball here. The likes of Chaiwa and Musanda doing their bit defensively, and then they'll always look to Fashion Sagala as the outlet on this near side. Foster. Outnumbered. Chaiwa. Interesting when you look at the Zambian situation in their qualifiers. They really were in a tough qualifying group. They were able to manipulate and ensure they're amongst the best on the continent to battle it out at the upcoming Africa Cup of Nations. South Africa equally as impressive in their qualification. Now, Gabini, good movements. To very well watched defensively then from a Zambian point of view. So, if you're just joining us here, 14 minutes in, you've got two sides that are looking to get at each other. It's interesting for the time being. There's so much quality on the field, of course. Likes of Pande and Chisala. Once we'll watch with a keen eye here out in the wide areas and trying to keep Apollos and Moremi quiet, of course, in the wide areas. Creatively, there should be quite a battle in the middle of the park for the likes of Bule, as well as Mogoena, as the toilet supporting them. Battling against Chaiwa and Musanda in the middle of the park should make for, I'd say, a battle between the two sets of midfielders. There's Bule. Was looking for the return then, but the foul was called for the challenge on Sitola, given Galusa. So even the attack-minded players such as Galusa will all be looking to get back and keep the shape that you see now from a Zambian point of view, which is proving a bit tough to break down then. So here they are with the most popular outlet so far this afternoon. Sagala. Well, he's got the one target inside the box, so would have needed something extremely special to find the one target. Not his best moment so far, but he's had a good start to this game. Certainly livened things up here on this near side, so should make for a rather entertaining battle between he and Mutau. Mutau himself, a solid and trustworthy defender, amongst the best on the continent. Loves to get forward as well. Keep a keen eye on that situation to see whether Sagala will keep Mutau concentrating more on the defensive side of his game. Although he is one, does love to get forward and can really push up and down to cover his defensive responsibilities quite impressively. The Mamelodi Sundowns man currently on the ball. Logas. Just keeping it moving on that far side. Again, the Zambians very quick in getting numbers back behind the ball here. As South Africa keep it moving, Mogoena. Apollos jumping into a central position to get involved here. Mogoena looking for options. Palms out open as if to say, where is everybody? Actually done between here and Apollos. Mogoena lining it up. He was invited to shoot. You remember he scored a cracker at this very grounds in the qualifiers the last time South Africa was here. On an evening where he got a brace. Really shouts of shoot coming from out in the stands. He didn't quite wrap his foot around it. No worries then. For Zabata. Well, the battle continues in the middle of the park here. There is a man down from a Zambian point of view, but they have kept it moving here. And again, Sagala looking for the movement of the ball. Then as they get it going forward, again, they're a little short of numbers inside the box then. So the early ball not advised. The man that was down just a moment ago back up on his feet. Gabaso. Interesting ball over the top to that far side. Beautifully done. The Zambians then quickly working it into that final third. And in the end, the ball is extremely well protected. Then it should be said by Musonda. And winning the set piece. Keeping it away from Gabini here. Waiting for that touch. Set piece in a good area here. Yet to see the Zambians really test Ronwen Williams in this encounter. Chance to get the big man forward, standing over it here. Zampande. Keep in mind, they qualified in a group that had Cote d'Ivoire, Sierra Leone, and Chad in it. And the Zambians and Zabata, well, the time being struggling here, so the game will be held up. Finished top of their group with just the one loss and one draw, the Zambians. So I'll be hoping the situation with Zabata is an overall too serious, that he should be able to continue. Meanwhile, Porter and friends are livening things up from out in the stands here as they start to get going. Should expect the numbers to swell just a bit more as we move in towards the half-time period here in Kabeja. He'll enjoy this moment, the young man. Getting more than his fair share in his time in the spotlight. And of course, you can expect there to be a good representation from a Zambian point of view in the way of their supporters over the years in what we've grown used to in the COSAFA Cup as we look back at the shot and where the problem could have been for Zabata. Was it his landing here? Doesn't look as though anything is wrong. Well, I was just saying that they've always had good supporters coming through for the yearly COSAFA competitions in the ladies' game and in the men's game, the Zambians. Always the competition between those Zimbabweans, Malawians, Zambians, and those from Lesotho and South Africa on who the liveliest crowds are in the COSAFA Cups. Now, back to the action here. Approaching 20 minutes in this encounter. Bande looking to create the best moments for Zambia going forward. Big man push forward. The really ball into the near post is well protected. And the South Africans now looking ahead on the counter. Apollos, nice little chop on the shoulder. Couple of men on him. They have been solid so far. Defensively have the Zambians, and the same can be said from a South African point of view. So no the scoreline out in Kabeja. OJ.
Resetse reletele, resetse rieme, resetse re beile letsogo mo phatlenga. Go bona gore ke bo mamantla go ka tsekenya le tloa mo letsatseng la gompieno. Ngosi CBC. Mo kapteini wa setlhopha sa the Buccaneers. Obedi jwa bone. Batswa kwa KwaZulu-Natal ebile ke ba kapteini kwa Orlando Pirates. Fa CBC a seyo Mbeketseli Mbokazi ke na tsa lebanta la bokapteini. Teboho. O tshamekela tshalo mo tseleng ya ga Nkosinati. Kabare Mothabele ge tswe go nna mo kapteini mo nna yo wa Nkosinati CBC. Nele mo kapteini kwa setlhopheng sa go sa Maloba Salamonville Golden Arrows. La ba itaware Mothabele gilwe gore ne mo kapteini mo nna yo wa CBC. Are bone khile ba tshamekela mo go Master Chef fela ga tshwara sentle ba tsaba tshamekela mo tseleng ya ga Toaster. Aba tsibuga ka bonako Toaster Sabata. Aba sireletsa tshalo khile ya. Are bone tshalo Fashion Junior romela kgwele mo tseleng ya ga Kalusa o a lebelela Kalusa a ba koba kgwele e tlanang kotsi tlhatlhola moiso kwa morago Aforika Borwa ba ba e tlhatlhola moiso Aforika Borwa kgwele eo ba tima mollo ba ba tima mollo kwa morago mona o monanyo Jobe Pepelo Strole ne tlhasela Zambia fela ba kgona go sireletsa mo kgweleng eo Aforika Borwa na tsene ka kgwele eo ka wana la Pitson Daka dira tiro kwa legeng ya Manyesemane kwa Engelane kwa setlhopheng sa Leicester City le ka wana le la Pitson Daka CBC Mbegezeli Mbogazi a re romela kgwele mo tseleng a re bone ba tla dirang the master chef jaaka serethe tshamekela mo tseleng ya ga Oswin ke bona kotsi ke bona mathomola ke tsa penefa sireletsa kwa morago ba ne ba leka go ba thuba kwa morago Aforika Borwa ba leka go ba phetla fela kgwele eo ya be e sa goroge kwa ba ne ba batla gone Oswin Apole sona batla jalo le ka wana le Lyle Foster yo le ena a dirang kgwele kwa Manyesemaneng the master chef a ba motsetse kgwele eo ya go tloswa le tatlhelo dira tiro kwa setlhopheng sa ka kwa Engelane sa Penley CBC ba leka go tsa taolo ya motshameko Aforika Borwa ba leka go tsa jalo taolo ya motshameko Aforika Borwa a romela kgwele e telele wela mo tseleng ya ga Sailor May a ba e ba mo tseleng ya ga Tshepang Mrembula a re bone jalo yo mo fashioneng ga jana monna yo wa Tshepa Moremi Nosadino Bekelibeke kwa Orlando Pirates Kabini Oswin Pepelo sireletsa kwa morago wela mo tseleng jaaka Fashion Junior Sakala Motserganye o na le gaufi a re phoso ke ya lona Aforika Borwa kgalatse ka loto sentle mo go Kevin Kalusa a re kgwele ya go tlhomiwa phoso ya ga go Tebogo tsholeditse loto go ntse fela jalo Tebogo Tserganye le gale o na le gaufi a le mo ga seo Fashion Sigalo toko morago Zambia ke na gangwe ya kileng ya tlisa batshameki ba memo kwa godimo mo Aforika Borwa seo sone o tshwanetse go dula o se itse ga jaana motshwaradino wa bakatisi wa batshwaradino kwa setlhopheng sa Mamelodi Sundowns Kennedy Moini gopola bo Christopher Katongo kwa Jomo Cosmos le ene motlatsa mokatisi Perry Mutapa ba setlhopheng sa Orlando Pirates ke bangwe ba batshameki mme bone ba bantsi simolola jalo ke Toaster kwa morago kgwele aba sa ene pa Toaster ya go tloswa le tatlhelo ya ga Seila ya go tloswa le tatlhelo ya ga Seila kgwele tshamekela mo tseleng ya ga ba romela jalo mo tseleng ya ga Samkelo Kapini a re bone Oswin Police a ba romela kgwele e telele kwa fele a re bone Tshepa a ba e bola loso la Pestile o e tshamekela mo go Sailor Man a tla kopa nomoro ya jeresi bo go nna fela jang a ba mo kopa nomoro Mrembula. Oswin. 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 Oh. Lal Foster. Habarulela ka khwileo. Bane ba le ka go ya ga bona Oswin Police. Na be le mo tseleng ya ga tshepanga taka yengwe gape a yaga. Fela ke ba re technique matlhale le mo khwara ke leng khwele ka yone Lal Foster. Ga o solfele se mo motshamekeng wa selebo sa gagwe. Maemo a gagwe. Ga o solfele gore motho a ka rega khwele jalo. Ba re le dikgoka Afrika Borwa. Wena Sithole o ne le dikgoka. A itlhomiwe kgwele ba go simolola kwa morago Zambia. Mo tseleng ya ga Penson Sakala. Tota ke le ka bona la Chongo Kapaso. Yo bila se tsamogetse karate sorwana tshamekela mo go Tristan Sabat. Oswi. Stone. Kabini. Khona go lemoga ba tshameka morago ba Afrika Borwa ke ba tshameki ba kgona go tshwara kgwele go neeletsana kgwele. Ga se ba tshameka morago ba tsang kgwele ka gale ba tshameka ba iragela kwa pele. Ba ineletsana khona go lemoga gore ba na le botsalano le kgwele. Gambo le motshwara dino Ronald Williams. Montlelene mo maotong. Sibis. Sailor Man. The Master Chef. Mrembula. Badi ba mo go Lal Foster wa di senya. Ba isa gape kwa go ene line. Are bone khile ba itsa ba romela kwa thoko. Mo tseleng ya ga Oswin. Ba ba metsa ka melody. Simolola go tsa taolo ya motshameko jaanong Bafana. Sailor Man. Tshepanga. Mrembula. Ba thula. Ba yatarla Tristan Sabat. Baleka go ya ga baleka go bua le yone baleka go isabela Afrika Borwa. Fela ba tlhoka le sego la go e ba mo letloeng. Chongo khopa go petsana tshara le Lal Foster. Khona go lemoga Lal Foster ona dirisa tshalo bo kete jwa mmele. Na dirisa tshalo bo kete jwa mmele fela motsereganyo wa khalema khileo ya go tlhomiwa kwa morago ke setlhopha sa Afrika Borwa jaaka mona Perry Mutapa Romela khile tele kwa pele tula ka tlhogo ya go tloga ka Afrika Borwa kwa morago khileo ka sebese a ba tlogela ka botlhale tsela ka kwantle o thwetso re bana sebaka sa metsotso kana le 15 gore karolo ya ntlha motshameko ya go ikhutsa mentse le fela Bafana ile le fela Chipola.
Well, if you're just joining us, OJ, or for those just joining us, maybe I should say, very little separating these two sides yet in the way of clear-cut chances. Neither really able to break down each other's defense to completely expose them. Galusa, the man fouled here in the battle between he and Mugwena. No one could argue. Galusa could be viewed as the man who committed the foul. Half an hour's play gone by here. Neither goalkeeper really tested as yet, as the Zambians look to change that. Needed better quality, however, in the ball played forward for the movement. Once again, over the youngster Kevin Galusa. Well, they would have gone into what was a disappointing showing in the World Cup qualifiers with the hope of doing well against the likes of Eritrea, Congo, Tanzania and Niger, along with Morocco. The Zambians, in the end, they ended fourth in the group. having picked up just 9 points to show you how hard that group was for them. They picked up 9 points. The group winners, Morocco, at 24. Now, shot from range. Best moment of the match so far. And Zabata keeps it clear. Now, Mudau. Mugwena. Sutole. Nice passing, nice movement here from the South Africans as they keep knocking on the door. Mudau, patient for the time being. Heavy touch from Mugwena. We'll see that go out for a goal kick. And so far, the man from plays club football with Skukune United. Coming up with a rather impressive save then when he got his body behind the ball quite nicely. Now, Paul then is having no problems in keeping things together nice and tight defensively here. For Bafana. There's Mugwena. Williams. Bogazi. Well, the point OJ was making just a moment ago, South Africa, even in that back four, players that are very comfortable with the ball at their feet. That said, the goalkeeper is the one who's also very comfortable with the ball at his feet, so able to play it out here from defense. And here they are, going over the halfway line. Good movement. Could be a chance here still. Remy. Apollos. Immediately, 1 or 2 on him. He's done well to keep it alive and keep it moving. Faster knees movement, good movement. Out to the far side, Kabini with the digging ball, and Otahu arriving on this near side. Just couldn't keep it alive. Impressive from a South African point of view when you consider both the left and right backs were involved in the final bits of that attack. Out to the far side, the movement from Kabini on the near side, hoping to apply the final touches to that attack. Cosmodel. They remain stubborn defensively to the Zambians and are trying to keep the South Africans at bay. Mentioned in that qualifying campaign, defense was their biggest problem. So they conceded 10, having scored 10 goals themselves. So for every goal they scored, they conceded, which was a huge challenge for them in the World Cup qualifiers. So far, defensively, for the most part, they should be pleased with the efforts they've seen from the likes of Kabazo, as well as Sakala, including Bande and Chisala. Patiently they wait, some hoping it's their flag that may be flying highest come the 45th minute. Thought I saw Dr. Kumalo out in the VIP area there for just a moment. And yeah, as you'd expect, there are still some that are making their way into the venue at the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium. They'll be happy the scoreline is still at 0-0, but maybe a little disappointed to have missed out on a quality bit of 35 minutes of football if you are just joining us, where both sides are showing quality, both are resilient and proving tough to break down, making for interesting watching here. Chaiwa, the man who plays his club football out in Scotland for Hyperion, is able to continue. The future of Zambian football in your picture. He's still 21 years of age, the man in your picture. That's how he would have hurt himself then at full stretch in trying to deal with the movement of Mbuli. Now, and as far as the African continent is concerned, Zabata here plays for Skukune United, one of the many international goalkeepers now on the continent, a good number. It's safe to say they ply their trade in the Betway Premiership that also represent their national teams. Now, one back in a good area here. Foster with some good movement here on this near side. Remy, getting into the park, space it in and looking for Foster to attack that leaves just well washed defensively from the Zambians. Mugwena, space to turn here and to wind one up from range. Out of the mark, no worries for Zabata. Well, he's penned in some stunning goals through the course of the season as Moreni really has had a great scoring touch in his time out at Orlando Pirates, scoring plenty of goals, also quality goals, which is something he was looking for on that occasion. But a player high on confidence, of course, and who's forced his way into the reckoning just about in time here as far as the upcoming Africa Cup of Nations. Gabaso plays for Zesco, one of two players in that back four for the Zambians that play their club football for Zesco United. He, as well as Bandit, although Gabaso, now 33 years of age, is amongst the experienced, in fact, the most experienced in the back four. Yep, there's the contact between the two as Moremi followed through after taking the shots, making contact with the defender's ankle on that occasion. Well, both these nations, of course, have done Southern Africa proud in the way of being the sole winners of, well, both winners, I should say, of an Africa Cup of Nations. Now, the Zambians with what looks like a lovely ball over to this near side here towards Sagala. Lovely vision as well. Want to offload here and find a teammate. Now it's the South Africans' turn to get numbers behind the ball and make life difficult for Zambia to try and play through. Clever from Chisala. He plays East Club football for Almeraik. The 26-year-old, he protects it while he is waiting for that contact. And on the third occasion, he decides the best thing to do is to go down. So, still awaiting the opening goal of the afternoon here in Gqeberha. A couple of players getting a talking to from the referee, but it's the Zambians that have the set piece. Approaching the last 5 of this first half. They'll take the corner. In all honesty, it should be said then the ball in from Fashion Sagala maybe lacks in quality. More than happy to take the corner, keep South Africa on the back foot. Better this time around from the Zambians. Williams came for it. The defenders didn't heed the call. In the end, it ended with the South African throwing out on the far side. There are 2 players playing in all parts of the world here. Some in South Africa, some, of course, home-based in the starting 11. One in the Czech Republic, one in Almeraik, one in Germany, one in Scotland, including the Saudi Pro League, England as well. Nicely done by Moremi, finding time and space away from 3 players. So, here is by Moremi. Owen, Sitole. Well, they're moving around quite nicely as they look for the opening on the near post in the end. 2 men doing a solid job defensively of protecting Zabata. Moremi. Tabitu. Well, 5 minutes remaining. And there's the first half. Very little separating the Zambians from the home side here. South Africa is a Protestant company. Keep on knocking for the time being. Just can't get in. OJ.
Metsotso metlhano ya bofelofelo karolo ya ntlha ya motshameko re tla bona jalo le le thubega a re bone jalo Sweden Police a ba goga fela ba ba sireletsa ko morago ba potse fela e kopana jalo Oswin ke bona kotsifa a re bona Oswin e ba mo tseleng ya ga line la thaketswe ke go bala makgetlo a le kgwele le ntse le senyega mo tseleng ya ga line kete motasa a tsepame thata mo motshamekong wa letsatsi la gompieno kete a se a tsepame thata le ka bona le tsholofelo ke gore tla re fa motshameko o tsweletsa simolole jalo go ka itharabologelwa flag poster le monster chef tshamekela jalo mo tseleng ya ga Nkosinathi Sebesi. Ba leka go e roka, ba leka go e aga Afrika Borwa. Zambia ba feletse botlhe fa morago ga kgwele. Sepefelo. Seleganyo ka phoso. Ano khorometa jalo mo kapteini wa setlhopha sa Zambia wena Sepefelo. Lubabo Musonda. Ono khorometa jalo Lubabo Musonda. Ka jalo kgwele ya go tlhomiwa kwa morago ke naga ya Zambia. E tlhomilwe jalo kwa morago kgwele le ka bona la Michael Chaiwa yo dirang tiro kwa Scotland le ka bona le la Chaiwa. Arbone Fashion Sakala Fela Seilamen Sefa Spefel tsena mogare ga banna ba tlogela kwa morago ba le bobedi ga ba e romela mo tseleng ke bona kotsi ke bona matlhomona ke tsa pene ke a kwala e kwadilwe nako dengwe o tla ba ithawa re ke moprofeta ke na le ponelo pele Sepefelo tumagana ga le Oswina Police e felletsa tsa Afrika Borwa e thoma kwa pele Khano se o ya le naga se shenjana Oswina Police Tshepanga simolutse motsamao simolutse go letsa melodica a ba mo tseleng ga Sepefelo a ntsha $1 billion pass a ba mo tseleng a ya ga Oswina Police a tsholetsa tlhogo a bona dikota a tsa kgweleo a yatlanya le letloa wona bafana a nnoro chipolopolo ya bo eketeka Afrika Borwa fela motakare tiragatso ya ga Sepefelo go tswa mo kgweleng yao Tshepa Moremi ya feleletswa jalo ke Oswin e ne le mo nontlhotlho e tswileng diatla jaanong ke yone nako ya gore ba tshameke simolole go tlisa makwalo a bone a mosepele gore ke manyo le banka kwa Morocco ke manyo le banka kwa Mexico USA le Canada ragile jaaka Tumeleng Khune a tla rage Ronald Williams ra go fiwa di sekente di le 180 metsotso e le meraro re filwe metsotso e le meraro monosi wa dino monosi wa Nnotota monosi wa nno Oswina Police dira tsamaya fa gare ga banna a e phasa jaaka e phasiwa a e nosa jaaka e tshwanetse go nosiwa hatalala motshwara dino wa setlhopha sa Zambia Mbegezeli Tebza Mrembo Sailor Man Baba isentse Afrika Borwa Arbone Chalo Chaiwa fela ba kgona go itsenya lotho mo tsereganya ba re kgwele wa ye go tloswa ile setlhopha sa Zambia a ye go tloswa ile kgwele ya Zambia ke bona Chala le ke bona la Opino Chisala ya kawe ba jala mo tseleng ya ka Kapaso Chongo. Kapaso Chongo yo etsa mekela mo motsara dinong wa gabo o tswileng go tlhelele mo dikoteng. Spefelo Rubela Kwilentle go taboga tshepang ba beile tshepo ya bone bogene Tebisa Mrembula Mbasashe ba ithula ka seropela El Foster ke tega sa ba tlhaloganye sentle fa ba lebelela bontsi jwa bone ba dira tiro mo Afrika Borwa mo go bonela nang kgele ka gone e ke tega sa ba le buka ya bone monna yo molanyo El Foster ke te ba mo tlhakanya tlhogo ba itsane beke le beke ba bona tshameko ya bone mo gae mo Afrika Borwa a bone jalo fashion wa pero ke motho re mo motsotsong wa bofelo na pero ke motho tshwanetse ba mo tsele kganka monna yo Seila le ka wana le la junior fashion Sakala re mo di second tense bo felo ke a solo fela fa moraga khwile mo tsereganyo o tla ba ka gore motshameko o tla ya kwa bokhutlong wa le bella rone aba utlwana le nna aba dumelana le nna mo tsereganye go ka jalo bokhutlo jo motshameko me o fela ka tselentse jalo motwetso ho swina police ile na tlhomileng Afrika Borwa kwa pele ono ba kana ba tla nile le ditsono di le pedi mona o manango wa mo getse karate serlwana potso ke gore a o tla tswela ka bone ronon kgotsa o tla dira diphetogo mo karolo ya bedi ya motshameko jaaka re go totobaletsa no ya ga Oswina Police ile ene o tlisang phetogo mo motshamekong re lebelele jalo dipalopalo Afrika Borwa letsogo le go dingwana 62% e presente le so marta le bobedi tsa taolo ya motshameko me re na le karata le notsi fela e sorlwana Afrika Borwa ba nne jalo maiteko go feta naga ya Zambia.
Fana are leading by a goal to 0 after the first 45 minutes. We've got 45 minutes to look forward to see the tune of. What are you seeing about this team? If you're to say, I can see what Coach Hugo's trying to do within that 41st 5 minutes. What are you seeing, Tom?
So Tate Bruce will try to get some movement, and if you saw the pass that Mudau played to Lies Forsly, it was a trend Alex Holland, the pass that he normally plays, from the right back all the way to the striker. Those are the passes, and they tried it in numerous occasions. They didn't get it right, but you can tell that this is something that they want to work on to get some variety in terms of attack. I love the substitute. You can tell that he's trying to get new combination for the new guys that are coming. In Damane is coming on as a centre back. Of course, he's going to come for either CBC or Mbogasi in the centre back. But I like the fact that he's giving these guys a run in the 45 minutes, and he's just trying to check everybody, and that's what we want.
No, of course, most definitely. You can see, these players he's bringing in, he's giving them an opportunity for them to see if they're fitting the concept and the system, which he's playing, which is very attractive.
Let me take the commentaries. Click, click, bang. Alongside Orange Juice. OJ.
Welcome back to the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium in South Africa, waiting to get things underway here and kicking off the second half, but they have made changes. We'll talk about that in a moment as Zambia themselves make a change here. As Sam is the man that will be making way from a Zambian point of view. If you are just joining us, they are chasing the game with a scoreline of 1-0 in favor of South Africa. Beautifully taken goal by Apollos after the pass of the day came from Mbule to set him up. South Africa now to attack the goal to the left of your picture, whilst the Zambians will attack the goal to the right. So, will be interesting to see the approach from the Zambians. They didn't get a shot on target, didn't get a shot off at all in that first half, so they'll be looking for those changes. Simagonda, of course, the man that has come on as we do get the confirmation. So from the Zambians, here they are looking to close down right from the front here. They'll be hoping to find a bit of creativity on the front end of the game and start testing Ronald Williams. In fact, he's made way in amongst the changes from a South African point of view. Chain the man that's come on in his place. Now got another player that's come on as well as Mbata and Namane. So Hugo Bruce trying to get as many players out there as possible to get a feel of the action in this international friendly. First few touches for Mbata in the deep-lying midfield positions. Interesting, of course, that Hugo Bruce pointed out only the one friendly match for the South Africans in this window, saying that he was also very interested in spending time together on the training grounds here, rather than preparing for matches, also working on their tactics and so on ahead of the AFCON and maximizing on their time together in training. Now, for the Zambians, after this, they still will push on to Burundi as they lose it here in a dangerous area, South Africa. And look at the push forward, Bully, closed down quite importantly by the Zambians, then just outside of the box. Look at the kickstart, the counter-attack, easily cut out by Simisi. Here's Ngota. First touches, first involvement. Says he won the corner. The answer is no. Thoughts he had. Pretty sure the officials got it right, however. Looking to have a go at Albino Chisala. Ngota. No, even with the Polish having made way here for Chisala and company, means that they still will have their hands full. The players in the wide attacking areas from South Africa, such as the talent that is on offer in those positions. In fact, just about every position for Hugo Bruce. Nice confirmation of the change with Chain coming on for Williams. Now, Foster thought he was fouled, and the referee had a good view of that, allowing it to continue. Lovely touch by Taga. As Zambia look for Troy on the far side. That's a good ball, good movement. Now, 2 or 3 getting into the box here. Tagada, oh, what a challenge. Superb challenge, lovely recovery then by Mudau. Spoke about this in the first half. The battle between the two. And, well, the best outlet for the Zambians in the first half. Thought he had time, thought he had space until out of nowhere. Mudau was there with the recovery to concede the corner. Five in the box, one just outside the box here. As Zambia look to score the opening goal of the second half. Fall into the near post again, well protected at the near post. Set piece given away here. The foul given away by Musonda. Plays his club football out to Germany for Magdeburg. 30 years of age. There's the man wearing the captain's armband here today for the Zambians. Well, whether it is Ronald Williams or Sibo Chain, you will find these two goalkeepers that are very comfortable with the ball at their feet, which is the scenario on display here from a South African point of view. Something we've seen throughout South African football, the ability for the various teams to play it out from the back here as they look to draw their opponents out and create space moving further afield. Now, Zambia is looking to play it out from the back here. Finding the going a bit tough in that regards. Not quite as easy as it looks. Then Bule amongst those closing down right from the front then. Pirates man, one of 2 from Bethlehem, selected by Hugo Bruce here this afternoon. Williams one and Mugwena's the other. Former teammates to Supersport United and Mamelodi Sundowns. Well, these are the areas where Zambia will look for an improvement in their player. Again, lovely hustle this time from Ngota, and winning it back here. Battle on here as Alusa loses out in the end. Yes, the toilet. Well, they are trying their best here, trying to defend a higher field and win the ball back in good areas of the Zambians in order to try and unsettle the South Africans and move on to create advantageous situation on their final third. There's Zesko's Pande. Look at the flick on, there's a chance. Oh, their best moment. And it all started with a closing down right from the front. It fell in the end for Sagana, and he'll wish he could have done better. Couldn't have worked out better in getting that initial flick on. The timing of the arrival on the far post is almost inch perfect, but for Mudau being there, maybe doing just enough to put Sagana off. So that rivalry, that little battle between those two continues to be quite telling here. And I see South Africa maintain their lead, but better from the Zambians in trying to get onto the front foot and make things happen. Well, they will look to create more moments of that nature. Well, the Zambians here, and with the throwing down the line. Now, good movements here. A couple of players getting into the box and they'll settle for the corner. The Zambians, well-timed challenge and it needed to be on that occasion from Gabini. That's extremely well here. Zamasonda with the initial touch. Not having enough time, not allowed the time to pick up his head and look for one of the two teammates in the box at the time. Well, they've recently created their best moment of the match. They're going to create another. The question is, can they find the equalizer? On into the near post. Foul. For the challenge then against BC. Now wearing the captain's armbands. Well, again, the position showing just the depth that is afforded for Bruce in the central defense, or heart of defense, central defensive positions. Men who didn't start the season seeing game time after the Orlando Pirates in the last campaigns, BC ended it strongly, however, having been used from run about the midway point going forward due to injuries. Logazi, pretty much same scenario in how he got things started last season after the Orlando Pirates. The pressure, once again here from the Zambians. Namani, they're going to catch up to the pace of the game. Well, a bit of space here from Pandit. Decent ball in, it's Smisi. Satano to get it clear here. The Zambians will look to stay on the front foot. So they are enjoying the spell over the last few minutes or so of the Zambians, working it all the way back to Zabata. Good movement here on this near side. The ball just lacking a bit of quality. And trying to find the man on the move here. And Mbande, but in the end, Kabini couldn't take chances. So throwing in a good position here for the Zambians as they keep the South Africans on the back foot. Created their best chance of the throw-in from this sort of range where Mbande got it started. They got the flick on. What's the scenario now? Well, the bounce is there. There's a chance again. Mudau arriving in the nick of time just to take it away then from Sagana. Continues the battle between those two to be the biggest talking point so far in the second half, OJ.
Sameko maemo alikawanale alimoholone kibuya chalo ka alikawanale la kuliso modau kima maemo akila chora chalo ke sizo motaunga kana ba ka hole balwa alikawanale me kuliso modau otene tsegodira bontle mo maemo ngao arbone kuliso maybe le witi ora simulu to sente tata maemo ke le kawana la sem iwi kambule me utama fela mudi takunta bone le kawana le arbone chalo fashion abaru atena re abai misa patie wa abai misa moleto aba fere sa moleto na le karodera le kawana le la fashion abane khone consider the service. Chelete wa Fatima likawana le marakola Afrika borap kwantele pilailo. Hileo bawe tosa fashion junior Sakala kena gotosa khile arba no godira insinga abata khilente. Kala Afrika borap khona ko intamo mo intamo garlo nyeko tsikhilia. Aibusenza kape mokene junior kete kene yo fatana kana Zambia bakadira botoka abata khole ba romela ba sona retene sirela tsa komara mo tsira nyar stands out mona ngo na le karate sorlwana Sinselo toma kwa mo konko sinate sebesi Sinselo toma kwa mo konko sinate sebesi Mulumili Tamiko latelangwa ga CBC tabele mo Tamiko was to pass Orlando Pirates fa batabatula ne Chipa United Tamiko kalika le bella fra tabelo ne pele khotsa morago Otana le motshameko pele ga fo fela o emeletse mona yo kuliso modau yo go fitela ga jana ke ora ke re 10 out of 10 tshameko mongwe le mongwe o tshamekang le kawana le tshameko mongwe le mongwe o tshamekang le kawana le Tamiko Munke on est pris le balai quand tout les radicaux CBC kala babu akane ko marako on a babu mako pele motsera jabar khele bay tomiwe motsera jaba ka jalo wore kala tamaka sente bile won sa way secha won sa jalo selalelo siamo kala jalo ken ko senati CBC Matamiki wan kawa Afrika bora kwa makala jalo karata ko senati CBC mara ka tamiki ma ko khantele Lena Buadira jalo tamika matamiki Pensen sakala makwakwa Hauka motsiraganye abaisecha avanza jalo karate surwana Arbone Afrika bora ba kudraga kidia tefa Demasta chef Tatali les pefelo Arbone be rumela jalo ko tioko motsile nyaga seila Sichole Mohau la baraka khile bukwa baraka khile bukwa alikawana la Maukota Semola chalo kamara ko mokontamani Kile ba tshameka mmogo ene le kabini. Kile ba tshameka mmogo kwa setlhopheng sa the Rockets. Motsereganyi wa go ka phoso go ntse fela jalo phoso ka thata la Aforika Borwa. Ga tshameka sentle le ka bona le la Miguel Chaiwa. La itumile kwa pele fela bona mokgwa tsenga loto ka gone le ka bona le la kabini. Simula kwa morago Zambia ba tshamekela jalo mo tseleng ba go batla jalo kwa pele le ka wana la Kalusa fela ba kgona go ibusa kwa morago wala mo go pale ba la talent the boy is talented bone ba ba romela kwa pele mo tseleng ya ga Mohau bona Mohau wa ba phetha Mohau Nkota. The boy is only 20. Musimani wake kwa Peti Y. CC Kimberly. Yabuemelela Northern Cape. Habakwana. Province ya gage ka dikukali tlhakatsa molelo. Mohonkota. Ana e beile mo godimo ga setofo a bontsha gore go renga video the master chef Siphombule a bo mo tsela ya ga Nkota re ke a leboga the master chef a se ka mo swabisa a bo mo le tloenga 2 Afrika Borwa and not Zambia. Sekanyana Semorolo Tata. Kase Kwaba Tebare Dynamites comes in small packages. Masergayo ka jalo poso. Ya utosoko bara ko ke sipoche. Hoy babo sila jagan tamani. Sipoche. Simaraka kwa Malomfontein, the city of roses. Kwa Umama 051. Irumela lokwalo, irumela bolaetsa, irumela telegramo. Afrika Borwa kwa Morocco. Yo tla balang ke ma Zambia, Zimbabwe, naga ya Egipto, naga ya Angola. Telegrama e mo tseleng. Irumela bolaetsa Afrika Borwa. Gore re tlile go thijwa ke bomang. Lyle Foster Watswa ke gore le kere ke teba motlhakanya tlhogo ba tshameki ba ba dirang tiro mo Afrika Borwa go tsena ngwana sesi evidence Makgopa ke gore le kare ke teba motlhakanya tlhogo ka mokgoba monela le kgwele ka gone. Bone khile ba itsa ba ya khile e betela ka kwa ntle re pala mo motsotso mo somo marataro le botlhano di le pedi Afrika Borwa bafana e le fela Zambia chipolopolo a re utlwisiso mopena mo motsotso ya bolese e le lesome a o tla bona sewe sizwe
But I tell you what, it looked good for Zambia in the early stages of the second half, but just when they were looking as though they might make something of the attacking foray, South Africa responded in the best possible way, and that's by extending the lead. He had knocked the fight right out of them. Got with a beauty in Mbule with yet another assist. Second of the day, and wow, problems there for Kane as he and the risk of losing it in the dangerous area. Fortunate to get the goal kick at the end of all of that. Good closing down from the Zambians, something they've looked to do quite a lot here in the second half. Hande. Space to turn here, options out on that far side. Got already on his bike then as he, looks to turn provider this time with the ball in, looking for his former teammate out at Orlando Pirates, Mahopa. Brave defensively then. From Magabaso. Had to throw his body at it, just simply had to deal with it. The defender couldn't allow it to move on, as Mahopa would have capitalized behind him, but what a pull. To get got free on that occasion. Bule involved, still had a lot to do in getting the better of the defender, creating the space for the shot, and a banger in beating Zabata. Young man who's enjoying life, very much enjoying life over the last year or so. Now, in swinger. Header! 3! Bafana. Oh, I enjoyed that. They're loving it. Out in Kobecha. And Zambia are simply being put to the sword right now. Well, you can see just how much that means to Sitole then. And you'll remember in the last encounter in Kobecha, did score a couple from corners where it was Mukwena and Albers then that were the scorers. So, again, one of the two big central midfielders that struck in the air. This time Sitole is the man that gets on to the end of this, and no problem in putting that beyond Zawata. Big moment for Sitole. Teammates loving this moment for him as well. And the Zambians will look to make changes here. Tobino Chisala, the man who plays club football from Marek, will be making way. I believe Kalusa, another man, is making way. There he is wearing the number 24. Hachimenza. Being introduced off the bench here. Got just about 20 minutes to try and turn around a 3-0 scoreline now. But the Zambians is looking as though it's a rather tough ask for them. Banda is the man that has come on here. Musonda. Well, there's the dangers of football, isn't it? And you're chasing just a 1-0 scoreline. You come out the second half with intent to get onto the front foot, to start to get corners, to start to get throw-ins in and around the final third. Brent Kamasonda is the third of the players on. Just when they started to create some positive moments going forward, the Zambians conceded a second and then a third. Now running the risk of being blown out the water here. Mahopa. They're closing down in midfield by Chaiwa. Without. Keeps moving without. Looking for Mahopa. In the end, it's Gabaso. It's read it well and is looking to deal with it. One of a few Zasco players that have been used at the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium now. Chance here for the pace of Sagala. Done well, Sagala! Oh, it's gone across the face to goal. And he's always been the threat. The man wearing the number 10 jersey. Blasting past CBC. Tough angle. And the credits maybe should go to Chain then for coming out and protecting the near post and, well, giving him the challenge. Can you beat me on that far side? The answer is no. Not a good moment for the Zambians. Sibisi. Beautifully done. Masterfully done by the chef. Now, Gota. Drops the shoulder, loses a man, but can't find a teammate towards the near post. Well, they are alive with possibilities in the way of the creative department. The likes of Gota and Sipambule has been outstanding, by the way, if you are joining us during the course of today. Kane. There's another player that's been outstanding, Mudau. Gota. Unlucky. Well, the field was a talking point even with the gentleman in the studio, Andre and his team then. And wondering if it contributes here to Ngota losing his footing and maybe having that problem. In fact, as he put his hand on the ground to balance then, the opponent unwittingly steps on him. Titole thought he had won that freely in a very good area. Tell you what, that battle out to the far side is really been entertaining this afternoon between Bashan Takala and Ahmed Mudau. Takala able to have a run and have his best moment going forward when he was up against CBC when found some space away from Mudau on that occasion just a few minutes ago. Banda. Hachimenza, these the men that have come in off the bench here for the Zambian team. There's Hachimenda again, looking to direct matters and trying to get that team moving forward again. Into the area of South Africa winning the ball back in good areas here. They are dropping all the way back into the final third space on this near side. Lovely vision, good ball. Now, Banda. Shakes up for the angle, watched every step of the way by Gabin. Disappointing ending in the end. Good challenge. Nicely done by Banda in winning it back. And you can just see the hunger of the South African players and how they are contesting for just about every 50-50. And immediately winning the ball back here. Lots of evidence, Mahopa, working their socks off. With more changes to come before this game is finished. There's Banda. Again, good closing down right from the front here from a South African point of view. But I mean, beautifully done and finding time and space by Aya. From a long way out, it's going to encourage to shoot. Well, he does have a few players that can wind them up from range. In fact, Bata, one of those, has over the years, last couple of years, scored a few impressive goals from range, especially for Hugo Bruce when needed, when the times were tough. So, 75 minutes gone by here, South Africa looking good, leading with a 3-0 scoreline over Zambia, and one of the most impressive players on the day, Mudau making way, and what a display it has been for the Mamelodi Sundowns right back, OJ.
Petoro Ediruan Chalo Hugo Bruce Kaba Matulodi wa etse go rotsena jano mo ditlhakong tse ditona tsa ga Kgoleso Mudau. Taba Matulodi tsela go ntse ditona jaanong tsa ga Kgoleso me ke gore le khantele kare le kwalo le kwadilwe telegrama e kwadilwe e tempilwe e rometswe naga ya repeta naga ya Zimbabwe naga ya Angola ba itse jaanong gore keng se se mo tseleng keng se se tlang se ba lebagane mo sebakeng sa dibeke di ka nna 4 Arbone Chalo Panda Kete Odi Patsa fela jaka mo kapteni wa Copa sa Makharebe saka kwa Zambia Munayo wa Sabobag Panda Hopoza Chalo Babra Panda mongwe wa tsameke ba di Patsa kwa Copa sa Makharebe saka kwa nageng Zambia Sipoche yo tlhophilweng jaaka motshwaradino yo gaisitseng mo setlheng se se fetileng sa 2024-2025 mo Afrika Borwa mona yo wa Sipoche Mohau Simarotwa ka kwa Bohulana ka kwa Boferganor fa o itse Kimberley ke mafelo Makeisha di Akako Sipoche talent come on like a Zulu Natal Kapeni and the master chef Stofo Simo 6 Simo Lilo Sibullo Lienere Morocco Kiaya Argoko Kianhone Consider the service Evidence Makopa Mono Talagwan Kibanda Barbari Fela Hasibana Barbanti Motaloganya Taloganga Hugo Bruce Leherman Kelele Mele Jose Riviero Ona Motaloganya Munayo Albanti Matana ko Motaloganya Umuiti Lesa Dirlenga Swan the Kawana Evidence Makopa Adirata Jaro Petrogon Echipolopolo Benson Sakala Watwa Benson Sakala Chile Chalofelo qui rotana le Petro C'est l'état de Suan Chalo qui est le Sato Rotsena. Matava di Raposo Comoraco. Rotsene Chalo, Kennedy Musonda. Rotsene Chalo, Kennedy Musonda. Mais on tshwanetse go ka leka go bona no ya phumula dikeledi ya setlhopha sa Zambia ba tshamekela mo go tseleng ya mono potilweng ke di le tharo ko morago tlhabilwe ke marumo a le mararo kwa morago monna yo wa Nsabatha a re bone Panda go le ka Roma Thai Banda thula ka momo kwa morago Consider the CBC Hachimenza Rumela telele kwa fele Tsepa Moremi Fasa no se ga Jimunati Fela bar offside Fasa no se ha Jimunati Tsepa Moremi o ipata mo letloweng ka gale simolola kwa morago Hachimenza tshamekela mo go Nsabatha bona njalo Chongo Kabaso me motho a ka re mogwang o ire morwa mogwang ke tewele borwa motho a ka rialo kwa ntle fela fa e le gore ba tla bona no ya phimola keledi Banda tsenya lotho kwa morago ba mo magane kwa morago Afrika Borwa Sile mo se latedi ke le silo se non kadimile sona fa o re ke se buse ke tla re holokile Morena simolotse letlhakore le le ka kwa botlhaba go sena batho fa motshameko ono simologa fela o kgona go lemoga gore ba tlile ka bontsi jaanong Sipuchei Chongo Musonda Banda Kapobo Banda Waleka fela ba mo kwa morago Afrika Borwa Chalo phetogo engwe diragatso chalo ke naganya sa antsha chalo mona o dira tiro kwa Leicester City Patson Daka o tswile me go tsene chalo check Lahene Jack Lahene tsene mena ko yone ile miriti wele ka kwano mo Kabega miriti wele Afrika Borwa Motakare cruising nicely Balelesela Batama fela ga go se kgoreletse sepe Hachimenza a bone chalo le ka wana le la Mphande wa we tlosa le tatlelo Mphande tsamekela mo go Banda ba ba re ba mo khopetsa Banda ye go tlhomiwa fela nete ke gore le ka wana le la Banda fana filo tsono a filo nako mo motshamekong o ina go na mo wa motshameke ba ba neng ba tla tlhagisetsa Afrika Borwa kotsi mo makgetlong a le mmalwa kana go lemoga tshepang ka tlwaela go tswa mo lebaleng a Sanusa kana go lemoga sefatlhego sa ga tshepang gore o batla nna jaaka o bona bottom sila ga bo go tlhagelela mosimane wa kwa tswang gone kwa Bloemfontein Sipuchei a itlhomile Chipolopolo e ka tswa le tlhaselo e tla ba tswelang sengwe fa ba tla etsa ka botlhale Afrika Borwa ba dirile le bota la tshipi le le mo setshwanong sa nama ha ba tla le thuba naga ya Zambia ha o tla le thuba ka bobo Banda a ba romela Banda Chongo e betswa tshalo ka sebese romela khilete le kwa fele go taboga mang a sireletsa kwa morago ba sireletsa kwa morago metsotso le metlhano gore mothoetso mo go angwe ya borwa go fele ka kwano mo Kabega e le 3 1 2 3 Afrika Borwa not Zambia.
Well, two Southern African nations, including one from the north, awaiting South Africa to the AFCON. Won't be an easy group. Zimbabwe, Angola, Egypt. So as far as preparations here, South Africa going about business the right way here. Very vocal is a chain as the corner lacks quality. And Mbata could have done much better with his attempt to get it clear. So another corner it will be here for the Zambians. Always talking is a chain, always communicating. Better ball, slightly overcooked. As it goes out for the goal kick, and the big man attacking the far post here, the likes of Hachimenza. Well, for those two, it will be a great day at the office if they keep the clean sheets to the end of it all. It'll make for a superb day at the office. Toilet, you are just joining us. One of the goal scorers here this afternoon. I mean, he's had a good showing. Master Chef always having the option in the outlet on that far side. But perfectly done here from a South African point of view. And just keeping the ball moving, keeping the Zambians chasing. Got oh, lovely run. There's too much put onto it for Madludi to get onto the end of it, but you can see the intentions. Looked impressive from a South African point of view as they patiently waited for the moment to try and explode into that final third. Well, the Zambians straight to Burundi will be for the friendly on a Tuesday, unlike the South Africans that are using just the one qualifier as or rather than a friendly, I should say, as a part of their preparations in this window for the AFCON in a few weeks' time. The Zambians will play Burundi on Tuesday. We'll look for a much better showing, of course, firstly defensively and on the front foot come the game against Burundi. Did mention their struggles in World Cup qualifiers from a defensive point of view. They certainly had problems in trying to keep South Africa at bay during the course of today. Well, Hugo Bruce, things seemingly moving beautifully according to plan here. Sitton. Also, you think of the men Hugo Bruce has brought in late to the squad over the last few months. The likes of Mbulez in your picture now, how he's grown with every game that he's played under Hugo Bruce. The same can be said for Remy. Banda sums up the day for Zambia on the front foot here this afternoon in Gqeberha. Impressively done once again from the South Africans as they played out and look to get onto the front foot. They've done a great job of always finding space and helping swish momentum over to the far side. Bata. Keep in mind that the AFCON, Zambia will be in Group A with Comoros, Mali, as well as the tournament hosts Morocco. Now, it's a cut block defensively. And now to eliminate one here. They want a fourth here at Gqeberha, and in the end he's brought to ground. And as they were getting excited, Not looking as though he was going to do some damage. The 3 minutes added on. The news is he's able to continue. Lovely work defensively. The challenge. The problems immediately from a Zambian point of view once Kota gets beyond the initial challenge. So, on the recovery here is Navaso, and no intention to play the ball whatsoever. So for Zambia, let's start off the AFCON against Mali on the 22nd of December. Follow that up with the game against the Comoros on the 26th in Morocco in what will be the biggest game of their group. At the end of the group stage of the 29th, they defend the set piece well here. South Africa start off with a tough encounter against the Angolans. Now, good ball, great chance! And they do pull one back. Now, some respectability on the scoreline. And it's out of hand. One of the men that's coming off the bench here to try and make a difference from a Zambian point of view. And on a day where they've been absolutely outplayed here, they are able to pull one back and get the better of a chain. Good numbers going forward here from the Zambians, and a lovely ball, then get this composure. And before getting the better of chain. It is Banda. I do believe that I found the back of the nets wearing the number 11. Well, he looked as though he could be a threat, and in the end, Banda does pull one back. And the clean sheet that Zipper Chain and company were looking for, not quite going to be the cherry on top of their cake here today. They have it 3 minutes added on, and that's all she wrote to add to Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium. Great day out hunting for Hugo Bruce and his Bafana outfit here with the goals. Impressive goals. The likes of Apollos, Totone, and Ngwata. And an impressive display from a South African point of view, including the men that are coming off the bench here. They came in to really help put the pressure on Zambia and put them to bed. And at the end of the day, terribly impressive display. For the most part, defensively as well for Sibisi and company, just right at the end, where there was that Latin concentration and the breakthrough from a Zambian point of view. But Banda was able to pull one back for the Zambians. It's all about now to Burundi for South Africa. They'll continue to work as a team in trying to maximize days where they can work in tactics and work in ways to get the better of their group in a time. But amongst those off the bench, here's your goal scorer for the Zambians. And Chain, who came in to replace Ronald Williams, who didn't have to deal with a shot or make a save, keep in mind, in that first half. A passionate enough crowd in Tabeja. Apollos, who only played in the first half, had got this started from a goal-scoring point of view. South Africa back on top of the Zambians for the first time since 2018. It's South Africa 3, Zambia 1 in this national friendly at the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium. Numbers all in favor of the South Africans here. 6 shots on target, so every other shot found at the back of the net from a South African point of view in what was on target. The bulk of ball possession, and for Zambia, interesting enough, just that one shot on target was what made a huge difference in seeing them pull one back. At the end of it all, commanding display here as South Africa clean the streets of PE with Zambia.
Bafana, not an international friendly in their books, winning 3-1. That blend blemish at the end. They're conceding. I'm sure they would have wanted to keep a clean sheet. But this guy is cooking. Master Chef, your integration back into the national team has been nothing but sublime. Just your thoughts on this fixture ahead of the AFCON.
I think before this game, my coach told us that there's no friendly. He wants us to prepare for AFCON. So I think he said we must give our all, and I think that's what everybody did today. And I'm pretty much happy to be back in the national team also.
Congratulations, Master Chef, the legend himself, handing over 10,000 rand check there. I mean, it's also passing the baton, so to speak. It's a metaphor. Dr. Kumalo, an AFCON winner. I'm sure you're hoping to do great things with the national team.
I think obviously we want to do great at AFCON. As you saw the last AFCON, the gents went through it all, and then they came out in the third position. So I think now it's a matter of going all out, because I think we have players and we have the coach and we have the team to do so.
And Sipo, for this particular game, Coach Hugo Witseng Holona in preparation. Akimboni, he was trying a few combinations as well.
There's no friendly, as I said before. There's no friendly, and we must give our all, and we must play even like the way we were playing before the qualifiers of the World Cup. So I think that's what everybody did today, as I said.
And obviously Zambia, Leona, they are no slouches. This is a team that's going to the AFCON as well. They are using this match as preparation fixture.
I think it was the competitive game. They didn't make things easy for us, as you saw. Maybe first, before we scored the first goal, they were low block, playing on a counter. So I think that's what we analyzed also with the coach. He told us that we must take care of the ball and find spaces in the midfield and on the wings. So that's when I found the police, and he scored a good goal.
Combination Nako Pirates, I suppose it helps as well. Hence, Coach Hugo Bruce wants national club players to also do well. Good luck with Orlando Pirates. I know Litsuile, but you were in the Champions League last season all the way to the semi-finals. Sundowns are doing the same as well. Kaizer Chiefs are also there. You name a few clubs that are doing well. It's important.
I think it's not a matter of the combinations. As you know, this is a national team, so everybody he calls up, as he said before also in his interviews, that it's not a gift. Everybody deserves to be here. So it doesn't matter who's on the pitch, and I think we're complementing each other very well on the pitch.
Congratulations, Master Chef Rukutwele Hekibitse. Coach Perry Mutapa of Zambia. Coach Moses Sichone is not able to join us. Obviously, as we said at the beginning of the game, that he fell ill. There's a virus in the Zambia camp. But Coach Perry, your analysis of the fixture, I'm sure you would have wanted to not concede as many goals, but there were a few combinations that you are trying as well as Zambia.
Thank you very much. I think we lost the game at a critical moment in the first half when we conceded the first goal. It's not like we didn't want to concede as many goals as you have said. I think for us, we came here with a plan. I think we lost the game. Going to halftime, you don't concede a goal like that. So coming into the second half, you could see we changed the tactics and we came in with force. We tried to play we did some combination plays which could have resulted in goals. Fashion Sakala missing a sitter, but I think again when we just stabilized, we are hit with a sucker punch, and I think it killed the morale of the boys. But overall, trying new combinations, I think we are happy and playing a good team like South Africa.
And as you said, obviously you are testing a few things. What are some of the positives from a Chipolopolo point of view as well that you can take going into the Africa Cup of Nations?
The positives are it's the new boys who have just played their first games for Zambia. You could see the youngsters in the midfield. They did their best, and that's the positives for Zambia. New combinations and new boys playing their first game. Not an easy game, playing with experienced players like Mokwena, who played, I think, his 50th game today, but together in the midfield maybe over 100 games, and playing with boys who are just played their first game. So for us, it's a win situation in terms of the boys we have introduced in the national team, because they did themselves well in the game.
All the best going to the Africa Cup of Nations. We'll see you there, Coach Perry.
Yes, we are going to work hard. I think this gave us an opportunity to see, even you could see from the back, we tried some new combinations. For us, it's an eye-opener, and thank you very much. much, and we hope we are going to do, and we trust in ourselves that we are going to have a formidable team by the time the AFCON is coming.
Thank you. That's Coach Perry Mutapa there. I'm now going to ask his counterparts, Coach Hugo Bruce, to join me. Coach Hugo, you are going to have a headache picking this team for the AFCON because everyone that you're giving an opportunity is firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, it was today we like to do that because that is the last time we can do that. So that's why at the halftime we change a lot, and that was not really good for the team. And it's normal when you have to come in for new players. It's a little bit annoying for everyone. But okay, I think we didn't play our best game today, but there were good moments, and it was the moments we did what we had to do, the forwards running, the forwards passing, that makes us dangerous, and that's also where we scored.
And in terms of your tacting into the halftime break, that's where you seem to be more aggressive going forward when Mohau Mukota came in.
Yeah, I think Mohau came very good in. He was very aggressive, very quick, also dangerous. And what I said, we didn't do that enough today. We were a little bit soft. The tempo of the game was not high in a certain moment, or not high enough. But okay, that can happen, and it's better that it happened today than that it happened in a month.
And of those, Coach, if I can ask you maybe just to pinpoint of those that were playing for the first time maybe, or being integrated even more so, what were you impressed most about? Because I see even at the back pairing CBC with Ndamani as well, and trying to see what would work in case there are injuries.
Yeah, that's important. Every moment there can be an injury, there can be a suspension, whatever. And then you have to be ready, and therefore also today that was the game to do and to give those players a chance. Like Ndanami in the back, okay, Sibisi, but I know Sibisi already 4 years. You can always count on him. And then we have still other players who are behind. I think about Ngazana, for example, who I didn't call up now because I wanted to see those guys. So I think with the preparation we will have in December.
When celebrating a milestone, Bethlehem is actually 50 caps. Congratulations.
Yeah, no, it's a whole, yeah. So I'm very grateful, like if you monana. Next national anthem for South Africa 50 times. So today was my 50th, and yeah, I'm very excited and looking forward for it.
Let's give you your flowers. I'm going to ask VP Lindazwane and MEC for Sport Sible Longongo to come in, and VP, let's give him his flowers while he's still alive. Teboho Mokoena, 50 caps for the national team.
What an incredible player, and his consistency. I think everybody can see and have seen that he's a very committed patriot of South Africa, and I think South Africans are happy and we are happy on his behalf. And I think going forward, we are wishing him all the best in his future. He must remain humble, and of course under pressure he must always be strong, and be strong for this country.
Debs, I'm going to give you one more shot to give me a comment, and I'm going to ask you to pass on the mic to the MEC to give you a few words of encouragement as well.
Pass the mic.
And then I'll fix it away. Just comment the milestone here, how I'll celebrate.
Oh, okay. Yeah, ke ikutlwa ke thabile haholo fela ke na mantsa mangata ka jeko ke nyotla lebo hape le coach Hugo because ke qadile ho ba regular under him, and also Coach Short for giving me my first debut. And yeah, man, I'm very grateful, and thank you for the support, and thank you to everyone who sent me messages before the game and even during the week, and I appreciate it. And also want to give credit to Pesitao because I think my first cap he was around, and he was the one who told me my time is gonna come, and unfortunately he's not here today, but I have to give him his flowers for always being there for me, and thank you very much, man.
Well, as the Prof is citizens of the Eastern Cape, we are here to say your contribution did not go in vain. And we are proud and excited that as government, working together with SAFA, we are able to say, of course, from the boys that we have been building, we can see the results. And his contribution towards the wins and the gains of the Bafana Bafana, which is the national team in the country, can be recognized, and we recognize his efforts and his commitment. We wish him all the best as he continues with his endeavors, and as he will be continuing working and playing effortlessly for the team to win. Even during the CAF, we would like to see you putting more effort. Thank you so much.
Well, we celebrate Teboho Mokoena, and I must say, I watched Teboho Mokoena play from when he was 14 years old up until this age now, celebrating a milestone, 50 caps for the national team. And with that said, yeah, Andile, take it away.